Hello there, YouTube land. So today I'm here with my Federa 6-string bass that you've definitely seen before on my channel if you watch my previous videos. This one, of course, features a beautiful quilted maple top, bird's eye maple fretboard, matching quilted maple headstock veneer with a beautiful butterfly, matching pickup covers. These are Seymour Duncan dual coil with the mic Pope preamp. Body wings are alder, and there's a ash tone block, 3-piece maple neck. And there's some bird's eye going on in the headstock behind here. You can't really see it, of course, but it's just decked out. This bass is just well thought through. And I could say that, it's comfortable for a 6-string. The neck is not too wide. The spacing of the strings is 16.5 millimeters, I believe. So it's a very comfortable feeling neck. Feels like a 6-string bass within a 5-string package. It's really cool. Very unique. The neck, the carving of the neck is just, flawless. I have access to all the frets all the way up here without having to bend over here with my thumb across here. So this 6-string bass is it's a dream to play. And it's one of my favorite instruments in my collection. I like it because it has really classic, tones. I get mainly because of the maple fretboard. Also, the preamp allows for that as well. The maple fretboard with a combination of ash and alder. Those are very classic appointments for a nice sounding jazz bass. So it kind of has that modern twist, but yet you can get this classic kind of jazz bass appointments when it comes to tone. It's not vintage at all. I wouldn't say it has that darker sound. It's more of a modern hi-fi sound, but a very organic, woody, punchy sound. I really like it and play it. Really resonates nicely. And the thing I like about this bass is, like I said, it's comfortable. But also in this bass in general, I want to talk about 6-string bass in this video, is the 6-string has really allowed me to expand my horizons as a bass player. I'm telling you, being able to play across 6 strings is a challenge within itself, but it allows you to expand your horizons beyond means, right? So I could go from different octaves, right? I just play the arpeggio. Right, from one of the lowest notes up to some really high notes. So, I take things like arpeggios. You could look at my Smart Bassist 1.1 guide. This is an advertisement, by the way, for my 1.1 guide. Link is in the bio section of my YouTube channel, or you could I'll put it in the description box. You could purchase that guide and learn about arpeggios, learn about the scale system, and all the stuff that's packed in to learn about harmony and how to harmonize the scales, how to get beyond just playing this. You want to be play this and a result to going through my guide. You want to be able to play across your entire neck. But going back to the 6-string. The 6-string just allows me to just think about things a bit different. It's kind of like playing a 4-string bass. You're constrained. You're constrained to the limitations of just 4 strings and not having that lower B string or that higher C string compared to a 6-string. So it makes you think a bit differently. So on the 6-string, I do think a bit differently in terms of I have more economy of motion. I could stay in one spot and get a lot of coverage, which is really good for many reasons. If I'm going to play a complex melody and, I don't want to be, connecting all the way throughout the neck. I want to stay in one spot. I could do that with ease, right? Of course, there's a little bit more notes to learn, but it's rewarding in the end because now I don't have to be moving all across the neck. I could stay in one spot and get a lot of coverage for, a particular melody I may play or even a bass line I may play. So the other thing that I like about 6-string basses is the ability to play chords clean, right? So Of course, you could play chords on the 4-string like this. I'm treating this like a 4-string right now. Right? You could play like that across 4 strings, or like this, just a 2-note chord on a 4-string bass. But on a 6-string, you could play, you could move the intervals around. You could put the, instead of putting just a third on top, you could put the 7 on top. Like in a major 7 chord. Instead of me doing this and putting just a third on top, now I could take that 7 up an octave and get, some really cool, clean tones, right? So it's important for me as a bass player to see those things and also to hear these things, right? So I play keys. That's an advantage for me personally. But if you're a person that don't want to go learn a whole nother instrument, if you get a 6-string bass as a bass player, you could really have a hack in terms of understanding harmony better with being able to play chords on your instrument. Just hearing, like, let's say a 2-5-1 progression. Let me get myself together. All right, so just hearing that, that's a beautiful movement. Just a basic 2-5-1. Right, hearing that and then hearing it in different keys, maybe like this. You just switch it up. Right, so it's really good and important to hear that as a bass player, not just to hear root note. That's cool, but to hear it like this takes it to a whole nother level. And the cool thing about playing chords on bass is that the shapes are transferable, right? So on a piano, you can't transfer the shapes because of the nature of that instrument. But on bass, I could just take the same shape for a minor 7 chord and move it up a fret or 2. And it's still a minor 7 chord, just in a different key, just with a different tonic note. So that's something to keep in mind, like it just makes it a bit easier where you could just easily transfer shapes just like a guitar player. So the idea, some people might say, well, you should play the bass line. You shouldn't be playing chords. I disagree with that. I'm not saying that you should play chords necessarily to get your guitar player out of a job. I'm not talking about that, or your keyboard player, which probably will never happen, by the way, because it probably sounds better in those instruments anyways. But what I'm trying to say is you got to use it as a tool to help improve your ability to hear harmony. Besides the chords, besides, having more to play in the region of the bass, facilitate, just in one region. I also just like it because the resonance, like the neck is obviously bigger on a 6-string bass guitar. And because of that, you're going to have really piano-like open strings. And also, when you fret notes, you get really true, accurate frequencies. I think that is really wholesome, and Anthony Jackson, of course, was the creator behind this. I'm pretty sure that's probably one of the reasons why he pushed for a 6-string, is because of that accuracy you get with these notes. When you play that note, you're really getting that true frequency. You're not getting, that floppy B string or that note that just doesn't resonate properly. You're really going to get those notes to ring out and to be very accurate and tight. So if you don't mind the extra wood, the extra width with the wood for the neck, it can be very rewarding to play a 6-string. And, luckily I have a bass that was tailored for me and for my specifications. And like I said, the neck is not as chunky as some of the other 6-strings in my collection. It's very well balanced. Almost feels like a 5-string neck. Yeah, the space is a little bit narrower compared to other 6-strings, standard 6-strings. It's still enough. I can still get down, is my point. So yeah, I hope you found this video informative. I hope you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and I will see you in the next video.